Alright, it's part 5 of the CROSLEY 817 radio here. I did a little more work off camera. I ended up replacing a couple of more resistors, but I still have to test out some more. And I also redone some of these grid cap wires. I still got one more to do here, and I'll show you that now. Okay, I redone this. I resoldered them, had to cut the wires and resolder them in there, put a couple pieces of heat shrink in it. We had some insulation that was coming off the leads here, and redone them and put some green heat shrink over the top of the black. This one here that goes down through the chassis is overall in good shape just in this area here. So we have to remove the wire off of this, and there's no real good way to put the wire back on because it's crimped in there. Try to clean as much as I can, scrape it down, and then tack it on the outside of that, and we slide heat shrink over it, and then I put a piece of green on the top because these are grid caps. So I think that will do it. Let's show you underneath here. There's still dog bone resistors that are being influenced by the circuit around it, so I cannot do any more until I cut them out of circuit. Okay. The best I could do, I couldn't really wrap this wire around on the bottom. I just could not see. It was like threading a needle, no matter what magnification I use. So I ended up having to just bunch it up there and put a lot of solder in it and hold it in. There was a 3 meg resistor over here. I don't know, I probably tossed it already. But anyways, I cut the leads close to the body. And of all things, that resistor read 3.39 meg. So it's 3,039,000 ohms. Okay, it was 3.390, I think. All right, well, anyways. So it only went up a little bit when I replaced it with a 3 meg, which is, these Chinese resistors are, I mean, the leads are like hair thin. They're just no strength to them at all. So putting this up here, and by the way, I want to thank you, Jim Asbell, for telling me. He says you should be able to put a 10 meg across it, and that'll get you very close. Well, by God, that worked, Jim. That got me down to just a hair under 3 meg. Just a hair under. I think it was like 2.97 or something like that. It brought it down from 4.1 fraction thereof meg down to 3 meg. So that's good. This one here, reading 1.4 megohms, and it is supposed to be 2 meg. I've got a 2 meg to go in there. Now here's what happened with this one. The original one, like I say, tested good, but I cut the lead so short on the body of the old one so I can use it to hook and pinch this on. Otherwise, I'd have to just build up a ball of solder and dip it in. In other words, tack it in. So, which works for me. I mean, nobody's going to do chin-ups on it. Tack soldering's fine. Nothing wrong with it. It's not the best way to do it, but there are times that you have to tack solder. I've done it all my life. There's been times I was able to solder properly. If I can't clean the terminal out without making a mess or ruining the terminal, I will tack it in there. So, in order to find out if this has gone up in value, I'm going to have to cut it close to the body so I can put in a replacement 2 meg in here, provided it needs to be replaced. If I cut it close to the body and it tests good, well, still got to take it out because it's destroyed. If I cut it down here, like I said in the other video, and this is bad, I have no choice but to tack in the other one. All right? And these here I have not tested yet. So what we're going to do now, because I tested the tubes, and 6U7 had high grid leakage. Otherwise, all the other tests on all the other tubes, including that 6U7, all test good with the exception of the weak 5Y3. So once again, we're going to put this on bring the speaker cabinet up, and we will see if we get anything out of it. I hope that these coils are good. It's going to be very hard for me to test them, to get in there in some of the places. But all right, let's get it set up so we can see if we get anything out of it this time. Just a minute here. Okay, unplug the dehumidifier. I cleaned the tuning condenser and I put an ohm meter from the frame to each stator, and there was no shorts as I rotated it, and I rotated it really slow to give the meter a chance to respond, and it sat open on one and read about 4 megs or something like that in the other, because there's capacity in there, I guess. All right, that's the broadcast. I'm not getting anything on that. Seems like it's all we're getting is noises. Seems to drop right out at the low end. But, like I've seen on that radio that Ron C. in Florida has been doing, that I sent him, he gets reception there. I didn't get anything in here. So, I may have to hook up the outside antenna, and I got to move stuff around in order to get at it, to disconnect the coax from the Kenwood. I really don't feel like moving all that stuff right now. So this is one of the bands. I think we lost our pilot light because the last time I ran this, the pilot light worked. All right, this is the high band, whatever that is. I don't have the... Don't know offhand. Well, we got a shortwave band here.
Pour les femmes avec lesquelles j'ai eu l'occasion de travailler, le fait d'avoir un logement.
It's a little hard to turn it with the wheel without the dial cord. Hello, Ron. Pretty dead. About 3/4 the way up the... That was the high end of the band seems to be better low end don't seem to be. But I'm not doing any alignment on this. I'm not done checking resistors yet. And some of the other type of capacitors in there, I haven't tested. The ones that look like the metal case, they look like micas with the arrow on them in the different colors that I pointed out in one of my other videos. No idea what that is. Sounds like stations coming in, but nothing but noise. That's all it is. This is the broadcast band again. It might be, because I don't know, the 40 ohm resistor is non-existent in this radio. It could have been taken out. I looked, and there is no 40 ohm resistor, and I'll show you on the schematic that I drew here, half-assedly. Okay. This is non-existent. All right, probably one of the changes they made is not here. Okay. This is the resistor that went up in value right here, that goes to the grid cap. Okay. And there's a 1 meg ohm that jumps over that and goes to some coils. Okay. Then we got the 3 meg that I showed you on the bottom of the chassis that I replaced. And we got that 2 meg that we have not touched yet. Now between these two there's supposed to be a 40 ohm resistor, but it's not there. Now maybe that's why it's not working, but I don't know. That's not part of the radio circuit, I don't think. That might be part of the power supply. I really don't know. It goes to the grid cap, so maybe it is part of it. But I can't see how this 40 ohm resistor being gone would cause the radio not to pick up anything. But we're on the broadcast band. All right. Well, you know, this radio might... Let me turn this down a little bit. Oh, that's the tone control. Remember I said that the hum gets... changes? Well, that's the tone control, because it's the on-off switches on the tone control. Volume's here. I didn't spray them. They seem like sealed controls, so I have not sprayed these yet. I did spray the band switch and lubricated with lubriplate. I got a wire over here, but I got my Samsung charging over there. But that's a Kodak ZE1 charger. But the dehumidifier makes all kinds of racket. All right, so this probably needs a very large antenna. Anyways, this is the start of part 5, as I said, so we'll continue on this. I just wanted to try it now and see if I get anything. And I'm going to go check and see what number that bulb is there. Okay, I went and plugged it in my dim bulb outlet here. and it seemed to be less interference, so I don't know why, because it's all the same circuit. There's only one line coming in here. Turn that down. I think we get a long antenna on this. This is probably one of these radios that needs a long wire antenna. But that's okay. So probably a piece of wire spread across the floor really wouldn't pick up very much. But we got more work to do, but at least it's alive. It's alive! It's alive! I'll be back. Alright, I'm continuing on here with part 5. This is a number 51 bulb. I marked it in the back there. I have taken it out, cleaned it. The wire had popped off, and I didn't see that, so that's why the bulb didn't light. Bulb is dark, but it still lights. I had a little heck of a time with that too, but I got it. So, I tried jury rigging something for the dial cord. It didn't work. There's no way you're going to put a dial cord in this thing anyways, but let me get you a little better view here. Now, this little piece here where the knob goes on and the cord winds around, there's just 2/4 inch screws in there. I just take those out and that piece comes out, the shaft stays in. I tried putting a big heavy rubber band from there and around here. I clipped the dial cord off. There's a little tiny spring that was in there. I put it in with the knobs in the little container so it won't get lost. So whoever gets this radio after I'm dead and gone, maybe we can do it. I don't know. But what I did is, in order to get the rubber band to go around here, I had to take this 1/4 inch bolt out of here, pry this back, because this is fastened to the shaft of the tuning condenser, and like on Dan's radio, there is no way I'm going to take this off, take this out, take this bezel off to get at the dial cord. No way. I don't do dial cords. You can criticize me all you want. So I backed this off, took the screw out, pried it very gently and slipped the rubber band in, and did the same thing on this side. It did one at a time. So I got the rubber band over the top of this. Then I brought it down on the shaft, but it wouldn't turn it. This turns very, very easily. Very, very easy. So, the hell with it. We're not doing the dial cord. We don't do dial cords. Simple as that. So, I was hoping a big rubber band would work in that. It fit tight. It went around the shaft. Of course, you can only go just once around, you know. But it was tight enough, but it didn't do it. So, we just reach behind here. And we got the radio in the cabinet. Cabinet don't have a back on. There's no back on the cabinet anyways. Reach in here and tune it. That's all. Simple as that. End of story. Okay. Now, one tube is 6U7, which is this one. I think it's the first or second IF. I don't have the pictorial in front of me. I have to go in the house and look at it on the computer. So this is either the first or second IF. This has got high grid emission. You know, it reads quite a bit. Otherwise, no shorts in any of the tubes, and good emission on all the tubes. You got a 6K6 here, which is an oscillator. They use that as an oscillator. You got your 6K6 audio output tubes. The 5Y3, as I've shown, is a little weak. The 6Q7 is good. And we're looking good here. We're looking very good, I think. In this area here, as I showed you, I didn't do any more with it. I don't think that's going to affect it anyways. The radio is picking up stations. I just need a much longer wire on the antenna, which is right here. And what I did is I put a little piece of wire and tightened this screw down so I can put my clip lead on here much easier and make a better connection, and then add my piece of wire on for the antenna. I'm pretty sure the coils are good, otherwise I wouldn't. As you heard, I did get the AM, and I did hear a short wave, so I think the coils may be okay. On the band switch, I put deoxit in there. I've seen videos where they clean the contacts with a brush. You can't get a brush in there, not even a toothbrush. And you can't get a pencil eraser in there either, and that's a good way to use to clean the contacts. So that's about it. It don't look that clean, but it's as clean as you can get it, without taking the whole damn switch apart. I won't do stuff like that. That would be as bad as doing a dial cord. So I'm happy with it. I think it's going to work good. When I got it, the dial was moving a little bit. And like I say, the guy said that it had some noise coming out. He didn't tell me it was picking up stations. He said it seemed to work. And, well, I doubt that was true. But I got a good price on it, and I think overall, she's a winner. So, I'm not going to touch those resistors, those dog bones, those small ones in there that I just got through pointing out to you. Because I don't think that has anything to do with the radio at all. I drew out the circuit part of it. As far as reception is concerned, the radio is working. I have not measured the B plus yet with this rectifier. I will do that. But I got to run in the house and check the schematic on the computer and see what the voltage is supposed to be. That is, if they lift the voltage. Tell you the truth, I don't remember seeing any voltage readings on those schematics. But we'll do that. It's not going to be over 350 volts anyways. It would probably be around 300. So we're safe anyways because we've got 450 volt electrolytics in here rated. So I think we're doing good. There's no point in cutting out those little dog bones, only to find that they may have gone up just a little bit. If they go up 10 or 20%, that's not bad, because I don't think it was all that precise years ago anyways. Now, you're not talking about the oscillator circuit, which is this 6K6 here, where your resistors would have to be a little closer to what they should be. So there is a resistor under here, that blue one right there, and that is pretty close. I measured that. That's fine. So I checked all the resistors around the area, and the only caps I don't know about are these two metal type caps right here. I don't know what they are, but they're probably precise, and they're probably in a tuned circuit. I'm not going to mess around with them. Now, there's alignment instruction, controls here. Trimmer capacitors, they got 1, 2, and 3. That was written on there when I got it. 1, 2, and 3 over here. And I don't think there is a trimmer capacitor on the end of the tuning condenser. It wouldn't be on this side. You wouldn't be able to get your screwdriver in. So, hey, I don't see any shorts in here. I put a ohm meter between the frame or the grounded. There's the ground braids right here. And the stator, the part that don't move. And I got infinity on one, and then several megohms on the other, which really didn't change when I moved this, and I moved it slow. So it probably needs alignment, and I probably may do that, may not, I don't know. It's pretty frustrating without a dial cord, but we're going to learn to live with it. Done it all my life. There's been many radios that dial cords didn't work for me. Normally I don't pick up a radio if the dial cord is broken, but this was an exception. I knew the dial at the time I got it. It started moving a little bit. Obviously it broke. And before I took that dial cord out, I tried to bring it down and put a knot in it. I couldn't do that. It's like working with a needle and thread. You know? It's impossible for me. I can't do that. You got to have super good eyesight. You got to have a lot of patience, which I don't have. And I'll be honest with you. I am not a patient guy at all. I give up very easily, and I'll admit that. So, you know, it's fact. Always was, even when I started out in this hobby. So I give you guys a lot of credit, that ones that can go on it and on it and on it, very patient. I respect you guys for that. To those of you who are very patient. And that is really about it. I think what we're going to do is maybe end part 5 at this point. There's no way you're going to get in there. You know. Now, if these were spaced farther apart, yeah, you can get a toothbrush in there with some contact cleaner and do it. So what I did is, the first thing I did, it was off camera earlier in the series here, I took some CRC cleaner and sprayed it good. Actually, before that, I took a brush, like a small paintbrush, and I cleaned out. There was a lot of dust in here, as you probably saw originally on the part 1. Then I sprayed it with CRC cleaner, and then when that evaporated, I cleaned it with deoxit. And if you notice right in here, is white lithium grease that I got in there with a Q-tip stick without the cotton on it, and got in there and worked it in as much as I could. And that's what I always did years ago. And also at the ball bearings of the tuning condenser, what I always do after I clear it out with a paintbrush and blow it out and give it a shot of CRC cleaner, let that evaporate. Then I put a little machine oil on the ball bearings, followed by a little squirt of lubriplate, this stuff here. I've had that tube for 40 years at least. It's one of the stuff I carried over from the old shop. It's white lithium grease is what it is. And of course, I cleaned everything with bristle brushes, not metal, but regular bristle brushes, kind of stiff, and get in there as much as I could. And that's really all you can do. There's no way you're going to be able to take these coils out and get in there or take this out. That is a job that very few people would even think of doing. The radio works, as I showed you. Alright, I got a jury rig. I really should be grounding this. This radio requires a ground as well as a long wire. But I just stuck it in the switch for my outside antenna for my ham radio. Just bring the wire down through here. I got my lights off because I'm making a lot of interference in here. I unplugged my dehumidifier. And we're on the broadcast band right now. I'm sorry for the lighting.
We'll have a good time. That's 11 to 1 today. Dairy, 159 Norwich Avenue in Tapsville. WICH.
This is Lori Lord with Medication Awareness.
This is AM.
Safely treat a burn by yourself at home.
I don't think I need to touch those resistors.
To know about burns.
The staff at Greenville Drug Store are...
I think if I was to get a ground wire, if I had a piece of coax that I could bring over from that connector I just showed you where I got the clip lead going in and put the ground on here, had this shielded, would be doing pretty good. Because this radio takes a ground and a long wire antenna. These type of radios do. And it is not tuned RF, it's only got 2-gang condenser here.
hasn't been from January 20th.
The board is considering
It's working, and it's not even been aligned.
now. The inbound Lincoln is 25 and so
Just at any time with an adult in a position.
Okay, let's go to the next band. It's daytime now, so it probably won't get any short wave. All noise. It gets louder as it goes up in frequency. It's hard to turn this because the tuning condenser is moving pretty rapidly. Now we go to the last band here. Goes up to 21 megacycles. So this would be the high end of the band, high end shortwave.
Healers who slay in the spirit never reach out to strengthen those supposedly overcome by the power of Yah. Rather, it appears as though they revel in the demonstration of their power. Many actually...
Sorry about the movement.
To make sure those...
I'm not equipped in this shop to be doing professional videos. All right, where's that dial? There's the dial.
$20 million lawsuit against evangelist Benny Hinn. Mrs. Peppard died from complications after someone landed on top of her, breaking her hip. offered to seek
audio here. It's got a good audio. So, like I say, there's 6U7. There's 2 of them here. Either the first or second IF, I have to go in the house and look at the pictorial, has high grid leakage. I don't have another one to sub it, so it'll probably work better if I had another tube in there. And the 5Y3 is a little weak, but we haven't checked the B plus yet. But I think I don't need to do any more under the chassis. But I won't attempt alignment on this until I can get to print out my alignment instructions carefully. Right now I can't. This tells me it needs more of an antenna. I don't have a very good system in this shop. What I really need to do is have a dedicated line that I can connect into this to test out these radios on my 35-foot wire that I got outside. We'll put this on back on broadcast here. Let's start at the top end of the band.
From the Olympic girls hockey team. These people are freak shows. So
CB Lisa Rosner tells us about a group called the Latino Pastoral Actions.
the father, one or two lawsuits, I think.
I'd say the radio is working pretty good, considering that we don't have any ground on it, which, as I said, is right here, and it needs a long wire. I think she's doing good, and the dial light is working. All right. I think we're going to end this video. This is going to conclude part number 5. There will probably be a part number 6, but it won't be done right away. I have to, I don't know, maybe I'll try to get I'm not going to take this off. Not. What I'm going to try to do is to take a piece of string. I got rid of all my dial cords that I did have. I had a little bit of them. I just got rid of them because I don't do dial cords. I can't do them. So I'll try to wrap something around, bring it around here, and just put a knot in here. It'll probably slip like a bastard, but, you know, I get aggravated with this stuff. I just can't see what I'm doing. It's too hard to get in there. It's too hard to see. You know the story. You don't know me by now. There are some things I just cannot do, and I'm sure I'm not alone on dial codes. You know, I respect those who can do them. That's it. That concludes part number 5. There may be a part 6, but I'm not sure when, so don't get your hopes up. Take care, everybody. I appreciate you watching. Bye-bye.